we really watching the Super Bowl game, or are we watching the ads? Let's be real. The annual showcase of some of the best advertising has to offer is just around the corner for us.
The best and most expensive, right? Joining us to talk about this year's ads, once again, is Earl Kinzel. Earl, we've been doing this segment for a long time, a lot of years, and I always love your insight because you see things and predict things a lot of us aren't prepared for.
Well, it's great to be back.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
What are you seeing different this year with some of because a lot of the ads came out already?
Yeah, so that's one of the big trends. First of all, we did a survey where we asked business leaders kind of their outlook. And in terms of the economy, their industry, and their own firm, businesses are in the 75% or plus optimistic or very optimistic range.
Okay.
45% intend to increase hiring. 50% intend to increase their marketing budgets.
Wow.
So a very robust outlook, okay? And that has translated to a record number of Super Bowl advertisers this year. 63 advertisers in this year's Super Bowl, $8 million for 30 seconds.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So it's big.
For 30 seconds,
Yep.
That's unbelievable.
40% are first timers, so we have a lot of new firms entering the Super Bowl advertising game this year. There will be 16 tech brands, 5 pharmaceutical brands. The one category that is down is food services and foods, which is down about 15 advertisers this year.
And those are the ones that people, I feel like, almost tend to really kind of lean into. But it sounds like we're seeing kind of a broader impact with these advertisements now. People really getting into it no matter what their business is.
Well, it used to be that the Super Bowl spot was kind of the big reveal.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. If you worked on a spot, you had to sign an NDA, those types of things. What advertisers realized, what brands realized, was that the cost of production, the cost of media, and the importance of content in terms of attracting people and engaging them with the brand has really led to this change where the Super Bowl spot is sort of the end punctuation of a big lead up. During the Super Bowl, you'll reach about over 100 million viewers.
Wow.
So you'll reach an additional 100 million by stretching out sort of
because it's more of a campaign than just a one-off.
And if you sort of think about the process of, pitching an idea for a Super Bowl, getting it approved, producing it, there's a lot of interesting interaction that goes on that's very interesting content for people. And so the brands are leveraging that. That's why over 30 have already pre-released their ads. The idea of the big reveal isn't there anymore.
Which are some of the ones we should look out for of those that have been pre-released?
So in the beverage category, there are really, I think, 2 winners. Budweiser, for the first time in many, many years, has really displayed their iconic imagery.
Yeah.
The spot is just amazing.
And they used to be like the one that everyone looked at.
Right.
Well, they brought the Clydesdales back. I'm glad for that.
The Dalmatian, even the Eagle, which is very
Eagle.
representative of Budweiser. So they are giving their customers what they expect to see. Pepsi, and that's what a brand leader does. Second in the category is another beverage is Pepsi. Now they're number 2 in their brand. Okay. They have also done a really good job of playing the number 2 brand. They use the iconic Coke polar bears in the spot, and the Coke.
We kind of brief look at that one, and it was like, whoa. Hang on, I've seen that bear before, but not with Pepsi.
In fact, when it first opens, you're thinking it's a Coke spot. And then it chooses Pepsi. So this spot is, both of these spots are doing very well in our, we've got a survey running right now where people can view the spots and rate them.
And I was going to say, here on the bottom of your screen, we have a piece of we have the QR code there for you. So if you want to go take the survey yourself and look at that, we have that for you as well.
That would be great.
Well, okay, food category. Grubhub is driving in this year.
Yes, so Grubhub, this is a really informative spot. It's scoring very well on that characteristic, and that's important for effectivenwith. They introduced the idea of no fees. It's done in a tongue-in-cheek way with George Clooney. But nobody likes fees, so they kind of they've reached everybody that doesn't like fees, which is just about everybody, and now they have a no fees piece. That compares very differently to what Instacart did.
Yeah.
So they're trying to promote their produce picker, but the way the spot airs for the creative under the Instagram one. I mean, I'm sorry, the Instacart. It falls flat. In fact, right now it's one of the lowest scoring spots in terms
Really?
of
Wow.
is it appealing, is it believable, it's scoring okay on creative because it's pretty funny, but it's not informative and it's certainly not true to life.
Wow.
So those are some of the key characteristics that we have correlated with advertising effectiveness, and by that I mean driving business, not just popularity.
Okay,
How about Ritz crackers?
Yeah, because I feel like chips
Yeah.
and crackers, they usually are ones that people are looking out for, too.
Exactly, a natural environment, the Super Bowl, for them to advertise in. Both Pringles and Ritz use star power. Okay, you've got John Hamm, Scarlett Johansson, you have, I forget the name of the woman in the Pringles one, but their star power is working for both of them. In one case, it seems to be sort of overpowering the product. The Pringles one seems to be doing pretty well, though, so in our early voting.
It's interesting. I know, Earl, your agency, congratulations, it's been
Yes.
open
I'm
for
tired of
20
boys.
years.
So thank you.
We haven't seen healthcare really as a big category for Super Bowls, at least that I remember.
And believe it or not, the Novartis spot, tight end, there's a good use of star power working for the brand. This is the only spot we have right now that's scoring on a scale of 1 to 5. On all 5 measures, it's at least a 4.5 or better.
Okay.
You wouldn't think that for healthcare.
Yeah. Exactly. But the stars in it are likable. They don't overpower it. They actually reinforce it.
Wow.
And the reveal of not having to worry, okay, is just really, really amazing. Now, the other spot, Roe, Healthier on Roe, with Sabrina Williams, it's a well-done spot, but it doesn't have the same kind of cleverness that the Novartis spot had. So although it's scoring well, it just is not really, I think the Novartis spot's going to be the ultimate best spot, even maybe beating out the Budweiser classic, iconic spot this year.
That's a big one to beat.
Yeah.
Wow.
We always love when you come in, Earl, with the insight. Those are just some of the ones that you want to check out. Again, look at that QR code there at the bottom of the screen if you want to join in and weigh in on some of these pre-released options. There's information about Earl's agency, and the best part is he's going to be back with us on Monday, and we're going to talk about some of the things we saw, the hits, the misses, and
There's going to be a lot of them.
Yeah.
All right.